Hello, gorgeous queens. I am just going to share this video to my group. All right. So, hello, gorgeous queens. This is Navi Bliss here, your certified love and relationship coach. And I am having a bit of a crazy day, but I wanted to pop on live and connect with all of you. So I'm in my car right now. And what I want to talk about today is how to embody more confidence. So you know that confidence is, if you've been following me for some time, you know that confidence is important in dating and how you show up in the dating process and in your relationship, right? And it's important because when you're confident, you show up as a different person, right? A confident woman is showing up on a date, is showing up in her relationship in a way where she's not constantly trying to prove herself and prove what kind of person she is. And someone who isn't confident is trying to overcompensate and trying to sell herself all the time. And when you're trying to sell yourself, this is a lot of work for you. And number two, it starts to make the man that's in front of you, whether that is your date or whether that is your long-term partner, start to question your worthiness, because they're questioning your worthiness because you're working so hard to prove your worth. And if you are worthy, then you don't need to work so hard to prove your worth, right? So how can you bring more of this out? So I just want you to think about something in your life that you're already confident about, something that is a no-brainer for you. And we all have that in our lives, right? We all have something that we know is amazing about us, and it's an absolute no-brainer for us. And because it's a no-brainer for us, we don't worry about it. So for me, the thing that was always a no-brainer for me is I was really confident in my intellect, right? I knew that I was an intelligent person, and I have always been really confident in that. So that means that I don't need to work really hard. I've never needed to work really hard to prove to anybody, to any man, that I'm an intelligent person, right? So this means if I have a ditzy moment, I just embrace it. And I can laugh because I know I'm really cemented in my intelligence, right? And I know that exists. So if I have a ditzy moment, it's really funny, and it's not indicative of who I am, because I just know that that's not who I am, right? And so I've always shown up in a way where I'm just really relaxed around that if there's some sort of intellectual debate going on, if it interests me, if I have something to say, I can pipe in. But if I don't need to open my mouth and pipe in for the sake of piping in, right? Whereas somebody who might be insecure about that might be trying to prove that, might be going and talking about all of their education, all of their accolades, all of those things. And I have those things, but I don't feel the need to talk about them because I feel really confident in that. So every single one of us has something that we're always really confident about. So for you, it might be something else, right? Maybe you have a great body, and you know that you have a great body, and no matter what, you're really confident in your body. Maybe you have a great sense of humor, and you just know that. You know you're super funny, and you don't have to do anything to prove that you're funny to anybody because you know that you're funny, right? So whatever it is, there is something about you, and you show up differently when it's in regard to that thing compared to the things that you're not confident about. So start to think about the ways in which you show up that's different about the thing that you do feel confident about, and how you show up differently about the things that you don't feel confident about, right? How are you trying to overcompensate? How are you trying to prove yourself in those areas? And how do you show up as the person who is confident about that one thing, right? And then you start to bring those qualities about the thing that you're confident about, and you start to live that way about other areas of your life where you feel less confident. So you just pull out the characteristics, you just pull out the way that you behave in that situation around that thing where you already have a lot of confidence. So if you find yourself really relaxed and, you're not wanting to prove that to anybody, or you don't need to mention all of the success that you have in that area because you feel really confident, okay, that's something that you can keep in mind. And around the areas where you don't feel confident, just keep in mind, okay, if I was confident in this area, would I be mentioning all of the things that I'm trying to, like, all of the accolades, all of the different accomplishments that I have in this area? No, if it came up, yeah, you might, if it came up as part of conversation, you would let it flow as part of conversation, but you wouldn't bring it up specifically, right? Because you're not trying to prove that to anybody. So this is what you start to do. You start to pull out the way that you are and those characteristics, and this is how you start to embody more confidence. And it's also just how you start to step in to the woman that you want to become. So this is something that I actually have a lot of experience with in my own life. So I didn't even know what I was doing at the time that I started to do that. But as a child, I was really shy and I didn't have any friends. And as a result, my life was really lonely and it was really sad. And I remember around the time that I was about 11, I changed schools because I had moved, and I just realized that I wanted to go to the new school and I wanted to show up as a different person. I didn't want to show up as a person who was so shy that she would only speak when someone spoke to her. I wanted to be the person that could go up to people and have conversations and just be a different person, because I wanted to have a different life because the old life wasn't working for me. So I went to the library, because those were the days that you went to the library, not online. And I started to look up the characteristics of outgoing people, right? And so little things. And so when I looked up the characteristics, I was like, okay, so outgoing people, what it said is outgoing people have large handwriting for the most part, right? Because they're not afraid to take up space on a page. They have really good posture, and their posture is broad shoulders because they're also not afraid to take up space in the world. So they're not hunched over, they're not bent over. They have enough confidence to stand with good posture. So I started to work on these little things, right? So I started to work, I changed my handwriting, I changed my posture. I started to change all of these little qualities about myself. And as I changed these little things, I made these little tweaks, I started to become somebody who was more outgoing, because I started to embody the qualities of somebody who was more outgoing, right? And eventually those qualities became my qualities. And you can apply this to anything and everything in your life. So if there's something that you want more of, so if you want more confidence, and you want more confidence in a certain area, you just have to start to figure out what are the qualities of somebody who is more confident, and you start to embody that. And that will eventually translate into you being more confident. So I hope that you found this video helpful, and if you have any questions, please leave them below. I will definitely come back and answer. And if you think that there is a friend that would find this video helpful, that needs to hear this, please share this video. I always appreciate that. And I love your likes. I love your hearts. They just motivate me to keep going and making more videos. So I would really love if you could leave me some hearts and some likes. So I hope that you have a wonderful weekend, and I will connect with all of you very soon.